call to order. Open Public Meeting Act, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. According to the Open Public Meeting Act, this meeting of January 22nd, 2025 was published in the Bergen Record and the Herald News on January 8th, 2025, and sent to our town. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Peachy? Committeewoman Ortola?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Here.
Committeeman Truinsky? And Mayor Judge Covello?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance when we come back,
Okay.
if you don't mind, when everybody else is in here. May I have a motion to move Resolution 025026 to the beginning of this meeting, or
Right, and to go into closed session.
closed session, and it's for litigation?
It's for litigation, contracts, and personnel.
Okay, may I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call?
Committeewoman Ortola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes.
Okay, so I realize there's only two people from the public, but the announcement is that we are going into closed session for the topics that were set forth by the mayor. We will be in closed session for approximately a half hour, at which time the meeting will then be reopened to the public and action will be taken by the committee.
Thank you. We'll be back.
Thanks.
All right.
Oh, yeah, Matt just stepped down.
Oh, I thought Matt.
Yeah.
Where was it?
He went to the bathroom, so just give him
I
a
just saw
minute.
him.
You were, yeah, you did.
Are they on?
Red light, you're on the base. The red light's right.
You're tapping.
Just waiting a minute.
Yeah, that's the motion to reopen to the public.
Sure, sir.
Matt's not here yet.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If he went out that way, can he get in?
Can you get in that one?
Get in that way. Look, if he's trying to get in that way.
Go look for me. All right, let's let me know that.
Yep.
Okay.
There he is.
Ready, Matt? Okay. May I have a roll call, please?
Committeewoman Peachy? Committeewoman Ortola?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Here.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Here.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Motion to reopen meeting?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Committeewoman Ortola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Committeeman Cherwinski,
Yes.
and Mayor Judge Carvello.
Yes. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Correspondence?
I have none.
No correspondence? Okay, so we'd like to do a presentation to ex-Chief Joe DeFalco. And also I have in here an oath of office for Battalion Chief of Rochelle Park Volunteer Fire Department. So will Mr. DeFalco please come forward? Mr. Miller, would you come as our fire liaison? Can't get this off the date. Stuck. Joe, would you like the Bible?
You want
You want to let your camera?
Michaela, can you take some pictures? She's already done.
First, I want to just give this plaque to you for the chief for a while here.
Yeah.
And it says Township of Rochelle Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey. It's grateful acknowledgement and appreciation for 4 years of dedicated service by Joseph Falco as fire chief to the Township of Rochelle Park from 2021 to 2024. Presented on this day, it says the 4th, but we're the 22nd of January 2025. We missed you. With a heartfelt thanks of the township residents and the governing body. Congratulations. So it says, State of New Jersey, County of Bergen, Township of Rochelle Park. I state your name.
I, Joseph Falco,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New
of
Jersey,
the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith,
and that I will bear true faith
allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States,
in the United States,
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of the office of Battalion Chief of the Rochelle Park Volunteer Fire Department,
of the office of Battalion Chief of the Rochelle Park Volunteer Fire Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. So I need this sign from you. Is it two here?
Yeah. Do you have a pen?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, you can't. No, you can, you can still vote, because he's not approving the contract. He's accepting the contract.
So much.
Ms. Crowe,
Grab a picture? Yes. Grab a picture?
Well,
Whoever wants to take a picture.
with the mayor and then with everybody at some point. And then the guys for the firehouse, if that's all right.
Like this there, everyone?
John's gonna be in this.
it's up to, you don't have to.
Whatever you want.
You don't have to stay, but if you want to, you can, because you're not approving the contract, you're accepting them of the official records of the minutes that took place.
There's just one more guys for the firehouse. Dave?
Would be horrible. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute, one more. We're missing one.
One more sneaking in. Shut, you gotta get up there, shut up. Good time. You're holding up the meeting. Just get you to vote against.
Oh,
There you go.
stragglers. Punctuality is not there.
That was complete.
There we go. Nice.
Joe, congratulations.
Thank you.
Chief.
Hold it door. Thank you.
You got the names? I'll sign you. Okay. Where's my pen? Motion to approve.
Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
Microphone on? I'll make the motion.
Can you hear me?
Now we
Okay.
can.
Motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I have some things to pull from the consent agenda. I could do that now, or I could do that
You
at
can do
that
now.
point.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah.
Okay.
Which one?
Let me get my list.
You want to pull for discussion, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
just pull from consent agenda first.
Okay.
28 through 32. So 025, 028 through 032,
025,
20,
26, 27, 28, right?
no,
28,
02025 dash 028. So it's 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And then also 37, 38, 40, and 41.
All right. One more time. 28, 29, 30. Got it.
32,
31, 32.
37,
All right. 37,
38,
38.
40,
And 41.
And 41. Okay. So those will be pulled for discussion.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you. So may I have a second on the agenda?
I'll second with those changes.
Thank you.
Committeewoman Otola,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Sorry, the attorney was talking to me.
Deputy Mayor Miller, we're approving the agenda.
with
Yes,
pulling those.
yes.
Committeeman Truinsky,
Yes.
and Mayor Judge Crivello.
Yes. Okay. So we have discussion. And the first point is outdoor dining.
Sure, Mayor, would you like me to?
Please. Yes, thank you.
So this committee may recall back in December, our construction and zoning official reached out to us inquiring what this committee wanted to do in reference to the outdoor dining, excuse me, that has been allowable over the past few years. And, you know, due to the fact that the state had passed a new statute, we kind of, I don't want to say tabled it because we didn't table, but we decided we would have further discussion once everybody had an opportunity to read the state statute. So I bring that back for discussion, Mayor and committee members. And again, the zoning and both fire official have stated that, you know, there's parking spaces that are required under normal zoning laws that are being occupied by these temporary structures. There is use of electrical extension cords, heating components that normally would not be allowable but for the COVID exceptions. They're asking, and specifically our zoning and construction code officials asking that we bring compliance at least to the minimum allowed by the state statute, and for those dates, that date range of April 1st to November 30th.
So any discussion?
Me personally, in my opinion, I'm good with that.
Good with what?
I think that we can have the outdoor dining from April 1st through November 30th, obviously, as adhering to the state statute, but I think we should have different rules apply from December 1st to March 31st.
Right, an application would have to be made to the township in compliance with our zoning rules, and it would come before this committee to, or the zoning official as well, to allow or disallow for that time frame. So again, everything would be under code and within the regulations as dictated by the state statute.
Okay.
Or you have the opportunity to say no outdoor dining.
So I looked at the ordinance, I'm sorry, the statute, and I did see that, it's also structurally, and there are tents there. So they have to be in compliance with, all of our ordinances and also state statute with, with the fire, trying to think, building, whatever else, but from what I am understanding, they're tents. Am I correct?
Correct.
And right now, I understand there's heaters in there.
Correct.
So, I mean, I'm fine with, in my opinion, I'm fine with having it limited to that certain amount of time. But we could also have other discussion. Anybody else would like to say something about it?
Sure. I also agree there should be the outdoor dining. However, there should be minimum standards. Minimum standards to meet now. I know we're beyond the emergency status, we're beyond all that. But minimum standards for health and safety of the community to go in and out, just like we would any other structure. But I'm fine with what was put forth with our professionals. Thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that as well. That we have the standards, the safety, the fire access, safety in the parking lot,
Yeah.
protection of people who are seated there.
Great.
And Mr. Scatino, you'll be able to draw something up in regards to
Yes.
this? Thank you.
So we're all in agreement with that then? We'll get what they'll decide just when she says. Okay, so you'll get something for us at the next meeting?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much. So the next one we have is tax assessor, and basically, our tax assessor is retiring. So we will be having to put out an advertising for that. Many years. Mr. Ty, thank you very much
He actually is
for
in
your
the building.
dedication to Rochelle Park as the tax assessor. Can't say that, assessor. So that's basically all I have for that. What do you have, anything?
Same thing, I just want to, congratulate Mr. Ty on his retirement. Like you said, many years of service. His retirement's effective March 31st, so I'm going to ask this committee that I be allowed to advertise for the position. The salary was $19,575.91, and we would keep that in salary range, and, I'll advertise the amount of hours that are required. I've already actually gotten some resumes. I guess that group of assessors talked to each other and when they heard, so we'll start vetting candidates, and I'll come back before this committee with that.
And his retirement date?
It's March 31st.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else on that one? Nope. No. Great. So then we have now recreation. So I'll start off with recreation. Right now, there are 7 members on recreation, and it was brought down from a larger number in 2023 down to now 7 with 2 alternates. There's quite a few applicants who would really like to be part of the recreation. So speaking with Ms. PJ, I'm sorry she can't be here this evening, her and I were discussing basically back and forth with the clerk was notified, attorney was notified, and we believe we should increase it as far as the members are concerned, from 7 to at least 9. I believe that's what you have on, right?
Yes.
And this will give an opportunity for other people, because it seems that there are quite a few applications. It's difficult a lot of times to appoint just 1 or 2 people when so many people want to be involved. Not that you cannot be involved. Anybody can volunteer at any time, and all volunteers are appreciated. But I'd like to see or have opinion from anybody else if they're in favor of increasing that resolution from 7 to 9 at this point. Anybody have any questions or?
I have a question.
Sure.
Are we talking about adding like subcommittees to that, or?
No, it would be
A recreation?
7 members of it to 9 members and 2 alternates. So it would increase it. And this way, there's a lot of people who are interested. There were applications given, and it's a good thing that volunteers are willing to do this. It's a really good thing, in my opinion, that they want to be involved in it.
Is that the reason for the increase? Is that there's more volunteers?
There's more that are
Or,
requesting to be, yeah. And
I mean, because they could still volunteer.
sure they can. Sure
Okay.
they can. They can
Is there a need for it?
I
or
believe
is
from what
it
I'm getting
more
from
because-
liaison, the PJ, that it is a need, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would be in favor of if there's a
Right.
need, yeah.
So I think that, I do have a resolution, thank you. So we have an ordinance and a resolution, so we're going to have to add that to the agenda. Everybody have a copy of this ordinance and resolution?
Yes.
That would be on here. So the ordinance basically would be to go forward with the resolution.
To go forward with the change to increase the
Introduce
members.
it.
Yes,
So we can add this to the agenda.
yes, you can.
Everybody in favor, or should we do a roll call for that?
You can just all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any nays? Yes,
I'm just going to ask that we do a roll call, right?
sure.
Well,
We're not taking a vote, fair enough.
no, that's only to get it on the agenda. Then you're going to do the roll call to introduce it.
Very good, thank you.
Okay. So we're going to put this on, where are we putting this on? We're gonna
When
put
we
this on-
introduce the ordinances, we'll just add that one.
Yeah. Great. Okay, what's next? We have administrators report.
Get my microphone on. Thank you, Mayor. A couple things to go through. Continue to wait for the PSE&G efficiency program to install the units on top of this roof. That's still was slated for this week. I will follow up with them. I have not heard, but they promised me by the end of the month. And the ambulance and firehouse is February of 2025. The elevation grant of homes, still awaiting FEMA approval of the revised scope of work and budget modification. And once that occurs, the remaining homeowners will finally be able to start work. I do know it's been a very frustrating, a long process, and that's due strictly to the FEMA guidelines being what they are. Unfortunately, as we know, costs of work in New Jersey far exceed what FEMA is probably used to. And we've had to go back and forth with the state Office of Emergency Management, who is the grantee. We are the sub-grantees, and they bring our information back to FEMA to say, hey, in order to elevate these homes and get them out of risk, we need to have this budget modified. So we're waiting for the approval of that, and I'm hoping it comes in the next couple of weeks. Another FEMA grant, our brick grant, the pump station. Tonight's resolution that's on will authorize the township to enter into the sub-grant agreement with the state OEM, again, as the grantee under FEMA and with FEMA, so we can move forward on getting the just over $1.9 million. It's $1,946,359.50. That's what the federal share is. And that'll again be put towards what is estimated at $4.1 million for the new pump station. There are other monies set aside that we could also use out of our COA account, as well as there's been some money set aside by the CFO. I met with our CFO yesterday in regards to this, and if this committee approves that sub-grant agreement, there'll be a kickoff meeting with FEMA. We'll sit down, we'll know the parameters, and at that point, he's leaning towards bonding it. And again, you won't issue that much debt because we know of the grant money, but that's where we're at with that. So, again, good news in that we can finally get moving on that pump station. Also on the agenda tonight is a 2024 open space grant. This will be used for Matthew Field improvement, which includes an overhaul of the outfield that has many sinkholes, divots, etc. A new batting cage, tunnel with synthetic turf surface, new fencing along the eastern wall of the perimeter of that property, as well as the replacement of the outfield fence, updated playground surfaces, a new swing set, updated retaining walls, and landscaping, benches, garbage cans as well. That cost is projected at $460,000. The grant is for $230,000, so it's a matching grant. Half the cost will be covered by that open space grant. Another grant that's on for resolution tonight is the 2025 Local Recreation Improvement Grant. This allows for an application for up to $100,000 in grant money from the state. This is to be used towards improvements for Carlock Field and Houghton Hall. Last year, we received a grant of $67,000, which is going towards the Matthews Field House improvements, and those improvements are ongoing with the help of our DPW superintendent. That's all I have, and at this time, Mayor, that's a lot of grants, and I'm happy to sit here and facilitate these long overdue and much needed upgrades to our township's facilities.
Thank you. The recreation improvement grant, what's the dollar figure on that?
So that's up to $100,000. Last year we applied and we got just about $67,000, and that went towards Matthews Field. This I specifically slated for Carlock Field / Houghton Hall.
Great, appreciate it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Okay, any attorney report?
Yes, just briefly, first, again, I want to thank the committee for giving me the opportunity to represent the municipality, and also I look forward to working with everyone. Tonight on the agenda, and to bring everyone up to date regarding the new affordable housing regulations, requires all municipalities in the state of New Jersey to adopt a resolution before January 31st with respect to the new numbers that have come out with respect to the municipalities' obligations for providing affordable housing in their municipalities. So that resolution is on the agenda for tonight. And then within 48 hours of the adoption of this resolution, each municipality is required then to file a declaratory judgment complaint in Superior Court to either seek a modification of the numbers or to finalize the numbers. So this committee is taking the necessary steps to protect the municipality's interests with respect to its affordable housing obligations. And again, those actions will be taken tonight. And if anyone has any questions on the ordinances from the committee, I'll be happy to answer them, as we have 3 ordinances for introduction on the agenda for tonight.
Great. So we also have on here affordable housing. We do have on here land use.
Yes.
If you'd like to give a little explanation on that.
Sure.
Land use board.
So there was a recommendation that we look into whether it was feasible or warranted to have a single zoning board versus a separate board of adjustment and a separate planning board. The state legislation allows for municipalities for under 15,000 residents by ordinance to convert to a single board. Now, originally, the state statute limited it to 2,500 residents, then it was increased to 5,000, then 7,500. Now the number is 15,000 because there has been a lot of success with the municipalities that have converted to a single board. In small communities, when one of the boards may not be that active, yet if you have the separate board, you still have to have the separate professionals, the separate secretaries, so it's a duplicative cost that really can be eliminated by a single board. The board will meet once a month and they will handle all applications for development. It also gives that group, which is essentially the planning board, gets converted into the land use board, so the people on that board then know every application for development that is being requested in the municipality versus one board handling certain applications and the other board handling the other. So that is on the agenda for tonight. It will be a 9-member board with 4 up to 4 alternates. You're not required to have the 4, but you're allowed to appoint up to 4 alternates. And that ordinance would take effect if voted on tonight as an introduction. Then at the subsequent meeting in February, there'll be a hearing on the ordinance, and if it's adopted, it will then take effect upon its publication. So that would be sometime in February.
Thank you. And also, there's an ordinance on here for the First Aid Emergency Squad, Town of Rochelle Park. I was on the, we call it the Volunteer Ambulance Corps back in the day. And I can only say thank you to all the members. I did it for many years, and thank you. Actually, I did it with Ms. Wells way back in the 80s, right?
At the American Legion.
At the American Legion, yes. And their dedication, and many a times, only a few people could make it. They could make the calls to help others and to help save lives. And again, here I'm going to say this was another volunteer organization. I think Mr. Houghton, you might have been on at one time also, I believe. Thank you to everyone at that time, but we, of course, have now moved on. So this is pretty much basically kind of saying, you know, we're going to take it off the ordinances right now. And I believe, Mr. Pinto, you asked for this.
I did. This came at the behest of our joint insurance fund, our PIA advisor, saying, you know, if you don't have it, you should remove it from the town code to limit your liability.
Right. So these are the ordinances that are up here right now. And thank you for your report. So we're on to committees. Just Mr. Twinsky, would you like to start the committees report?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. From the DPW's perspective, Christmas trees are picked up weekly on Mondays. There can be nothing left on the tree or it will not be picked up. No plastic bags on the trees. There were 4 calls for sewer backups. The use of baby wipes, sanitizing wipes, paper towels, or any like items should not be flushed into the sewer system. These items do not break down and cause backups in the system. These backups will and have caused problems for all of our neighbors, and ultimately it may happen to you in your home. We are still waiting for the county to start making repairs to the stormwater line on Rochelle Ave by West Oldest. These repairs will happen prior to the repaving of Rochelle Avenue. Carlack Field project and upgrades have begun. There will be closures of the park and field at times during this project. I can't imagine anybody wanting to get out on the field right now in this weather. The next electronics pickup is February 26th. Basketball hoops need to be removed from the roadside prior to any snowfall. These items can damage the trucks and your hoops and will not allow us to get to the curb in that area. Please remember there are 2 different ordinances related to snow removal and parking during snowfall. 161-7 states casting of snow and ice. No owner, tenant, or occupant of any premises abutting any street, avenue, or highway within the limits of the Township of Rochelle Park, nor any person working for or on behalf of any owner, tenant, or occupant shall throw, place, or deposit any snow or ice upon the public street in front of his or her property. 180.38 states, whenever snow has fallen and accumulation is such that it covers the street or highway, no vehicle shall be parked on either side of any street or part thereof within the township. The above parking prohibition shall remain in effect 24 hours after the snow has ceased and until the streets have been plowed sufficiently, and to the extent that parking will not interfere with the normal flow of traffic. It shall be unnecessary during a snow emergency for the police department to post emergency no parking signs. I'd like to also say thank you to the DPW for the great plowing that they've done. I witnessed it on my street, and I've had calls actually from people. I don't know if they knew I was on the dais or not, but they called me and they were complimenting the DPW. I've had a handful of phone calls come in. That's never happened for me. So thank you, DPW, for your work. And I also wanted to say, from the perspective of what Mr. Pinto was saying regarding the construction coming up in the roof and on this building and the HVAC, I had asked to meet with DPW, and I actually would like to walk the roofs as well and get a perspective of what they look like, what's going on up there, and just to get another set of eyes on it. Can't hurt. And that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Ms. Artola?
Congratulations to ex-Fire Chief Joe Tafalco, and thank you for your service to Rochelle Park. Congratulations. I attended the Office of Emergency Management reorganization meeting on Sunday with Mayor Judge Carvalho. We discussed our emergency operations plan as well as other updates and strategies the team has to ensure that we are ready for our next emergency. Thank you to the OEM, police, fire, DPW, and CERT for your work and dedication. The court report for the month of December is as follows. Traffic, 209, criminal, 18, for a total of $19,080.11. Putting that into comparison of December of last year, which was $6,586.70, that was a difference of a positive of $12,493.41. For the whole of 2024, for the year, traffic was 4,656, criminal was 239, with a total of $173,251.21. That's in comparison to 2023, which was $128,345.75. So that's an increase of $44,909.46. We thank the court colleagues for their hard work this year. Their efforts are evident in the number increases. 2 weeks ago was Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. I honored our team by making them their favorite treats. The residents and I thank them for all they do. After reading last year's numbers, our appreciation is well deserved. Chief, thank you to you and your team. At our last meeting, the reorganization meeting, Father Rich Kelly did the invocation for us. Just a few days later, he was hospitalized for heart issues and is still there. When I informed Committeeman Chewinski of his condition, he suggested that we all sign a card for him. Thank you to the Township Committee. Thank you for the idea, and thank you for the Township Committee for signing the card. I will pass it around to him. January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and January 11th is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. It's a worldwide problem where people and children are enslaved for work or for sex. Around the world, people are trafficked mostly for work, and in the U.S., people are mostly trafficked for sex. One of the biggest work trafficking lawsuits in the U.S. was right here in New Jersey. A group of construction workers from another country were brought here with the promise of work and residency in the U.S. Their passports were confiscated, and they were kept in a fenced-in compound. They were told that if they tried to leave, they would be arrested because they did not have their passports. Their pay averaged $1.20 per hour. Victims could be in our community, such as your neighbor's nanny, the young lady who does your nails, or the young man clearing your table at a restaurant. Social media continues to be a major tool for human traffickers, exploiting platforms to groom, manipulate, and abduct victims, often targeting vulnerable children and teens. Despite the growing concerns, many major platforms have failed to effectively address the issue. Human trafficking is a crime against the basic dignity and rights of a person. Sadly, human trafficking is flourishing throughout the world. In 2021, an estimated 50 million people were living in this modern-day slavery on any given day. Awareness is the beginning of fighting the problem. Please do your part, and if you see something, say something.
Very good.
That's all.
Thank you. By the way, happy birthday. And it was just
Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you so much.
welcome. Mr. Miller?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Rochelle Park Fire Department responded to 19 calls in December. Members logged a grand total of 120 hours for the month of December. Are you tired of sitting in this chamber? Are you looking for entertainment in the municipal building? Do you wish you had the microphone right now? Well, then I want to invite you to karaoke in the Senior Center. It's happening right now until 8 p.m. You only have 30 more minutes to go sing. It's being hosted by the wonderful staff at the library. Refreshments are being provided. Speaking of the library, I want to congratulate Diane Verhassel, Elaine Raynone, and Michelle Ballack for being sworn in last week as library board trustees. Following the swearing in, Diane Verhassel was appointed president, Chris Sheridan as vice president. Congratulations to all, and thank you for your service to the library. The Shade Tree Committee will meet on Wednesday, January 29th in the Senior Center. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Miller. I know you've sung karaoke there, and you did a great job. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so here's a couple of my reports. So OEM was already reported on by Ms. Sartolo. The seniors, tomorrow is their senior day at 1 p.m., their senior meeting, I should say. Coffee will be served. It's bingo day, so hopefully there'll be a lot of people there. And there'll be plans for the May trip will be discussed. Under the police department, I have the 2024 end-of-year review, and they handled over, well, an all-time high number listed in this year-end, and they handled just under 18,000 calls for service types, the most in Rochelle Park's history by almost 4,000. There's a breakdown of it: 43 DWIs, 52 domestic, 66 juvenile complaints, 171 arrests. This would be for unlawful weapons, guns, 5,682 motor vehicle summons, 2,474 motor vehicle stops conducted, and the dispatcher 3,936 911 calls. So on the monthly report, I'm just going to summarize this because our police department does a lot with this. So it's a total of 1,267 calls for service, were answered for the month of December 2024. 108 motor vehicle stops were conducted, 40 and summonses, warnings issued, 43 suspicious persons, total of 10 adults arrested and or made in the 20 different criminal crimes charges. That's quite a bit in 1 month, but thank you. These criminal arrests are highlighted by motor vehicle stops on Essex Street, which lead to the identity theft and credit card theft case. The driver was found in possession of New Jersey identification and victims' names, along with credit cards, and $6,000 in currency. Detectives are working with patrol officers to identify these victims. So, community outreach, social media followers, please pay attention to new updates, community outreach, events, announcements, and warning on both Facebook and Instagram. During the month of December, Detective Shatkin and Marcoon participated in Bergen County Prosecutor's Office crime suspension detail. Officers throughout Bergen County flooded the area shopping districts to provide a visible deterrent during holiday season. The ever-popular RPPD S'more Station was set up at the holiday tree lighting event. Over 1,000 baggies of s'mores were toasted. That's a lot, but okay. There was a lot of training done by officers Bermudez, Zenock. They attended the week-long CIT, which is Crisis Intervention Training. Starling, Patrol Officer Starling attended Municipal Alliance training. Saldivia completed monthly regional SWAT team training with the BCPO Bravo Squad. The entire force performed annual rifle skill training at the range. Probationary Officer Hermersova, tell me his name. Hermersova, yes. He's a new one here. Began his 3-month field training program. There's announcements that says meet the officer campaign. Stay tuned for social media to learn about the newest officer, Paul. The winter season is upon us, and as is the snow and ice, be sure to clear sidewalks, vehicle rooftops. Officers are out and issuing summonses and violations. So that's a general synopsis of what I have from the chief on that. And that's all I have at this point.
Mayor,
Yes?
if I may, I did forget something.
Sure, absolutely.
I'd like to recognize Mr. Joe DeFalco also for stepping up on the school board. You were, from what I understand, one of 2 applicants that were interviewed, and you were selected, and congratulations, and then good luck. And welcome. Thank you for stepping up.
Great. And that's all, everybody? Good? That's all?
Yep.
Okay. All right, very good. We'll move forward. We have clerk report, nothing there, right?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Rabies
Sorry.
clinic is February 8th, Saturday, 10 to 12 at the firehouse.
Rabies clinic,
Rabies clinic.
The free rabies clinic.
No.
yes. Okay. And that is free? I think I
Free.
had to- Sorry?
Yep.
Okay. So may I have a motion to open to the public portion?
I'll make a motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Yeah, sure. Well, all in favor? Yes?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And then, Mr. Scatino, you want to stay?
Yes, just to go over, I probably most of you have already heard this and have attended meetings in the past, but just to go over the rules for the public portion. Each person here will have an opportunity to speak once if they choose to do so. You're limited to 3 minutes. I will keep track of the time, and when there's 30 seconds left of your 3 minutes, if you use that amount of time, I will let you know so you can start to wrap up your statement or the comments that you're making. At the conclusion of the public portion of the meeting, those comments or questions that need to be responded to, can be responded to at tonight's meeting, the mayor will designate the appropriate individual to respond where, again, it is appropriate. And with that, Mayor, we're ready to proceed.
Okay, great. Anybody from the public? It's open to the public. Anybody would like to speak?
And again, I'm sorry, but you probably already know this. Just state your name, and you don't have to say your home address, but just what town you're from.
Mine's very simple. I just want to let everybody know, the Boy Scout Spaghetti Dinner is coming up. It is Saturday, March 22nd, and again, we will have the same two seatings, 2:30 to 4, 4:30 to 6. Tickets ahead of time are $10 for adults, 5 for kids, and day of event are 12 and 6. So as of the next meeting, I will have tickets, or just let me know, and I will send them to anybody interested. We do appreciate the support. It does help the boys pay for summer camp and things like that, so it's very much appreciated. Thank you. Sorry, what was that date
Wait,
again?
I was just going to say that, March 22nd.
Thank you.
March 22nd.
Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
Mayor, real quick, if I may.
Yes.
Seeing Ms. Verhassel reminded me, this town owes a debt of gratitude to our scouts for once again decorating our Christmas tree at the County Winter Wonderland, and I believe they made it as far as runner-up this year. So again,
Okay.
thanks to the scout troops for, taking that endeavor on every year.
Very good.
Bill Coleman, Rochelle Park. I have a question. The township meetings are recorded, and I don't know if there's a format or something, but you can't share it any longer. So
You can't, I'm sorry, you can't share,
you can't share the meeting for some.
can't share?
Better?
Now I can hear you,
Okay.
yeah.
The format on YouTube,
Oh.
evidently you can't share it anymore. Everyone knows I had the taxpayer site, and I opened it up just to share the meetings for people who can't attend. If somebody can look into that. Also, the Planning and Zoning Board, it's going to be crucial with the new development that's going to be coming up. It seems like we got some major developers that want to do some major building on a community. Is there any possibility that those meetings can be televised?
Counsel?
It's up to the board. The planning board would have to decide if they wish to televise, and then, of course, whether you have the logistics to televise them. Sometimes, there's a little work involved to set up the system to televise the planning board meetings, but again, that would be up to the planning board itself.
Yeah.
So that might be a discussion, maybe?
Just something to kick around, because there's a lot of people that just can't attend the meetings or anything else and don't know what's going on, what's on the agenda and everything else.
Okay.
And lastly, this is for council, the outdoor seating. It's based on table, seating, square footage, and everything for parking.
The outdoor dining, you want
Yeah.
to talk, okay.
So if we expand the outside perimeters and take away parking spaces, do we still have to be mandated by the state's new policy? Or can we negate some of it, or even downsize, allowing their outside parking?
That would be up to the township committee as to what changes or restrictions. You can modify whatever the state is saying in terms of the parking and so forth, but that would be up to the township committee, which would then send it to the planning board for review, and then back to the township.
Okay, because we have in the ordinance, we have, whether it's a dance hall or which is non-conforming in town, but table seating or standing seating, we have and square footage, floor square footage, we have a calculation for parking. So if we expand the business, we're taking away from parking, and I just wanted to know if we had any leeway, instead of creating a problem, in kind of over controlling a possible bad situation, that's all.
Yes,
Okay?
we do.
Okay, good.
But I think, if I may answer something here, I believe there's statute, and I think you could check into, I know you're over 3 minutes, but I want to answer if I could. I believe there's statute when you have a hotel, you could correct me if I'm wrong, because I was checking all this out, looking at it, and for every unit, what I'm understanding, you're supposed to have a parking space for every unit in that hotel. So, just researching it myself, it might be something that would have to also be looked at, but I believe we want to go by the standards, Administrator, right, that we were looking at, that would comply. Everything has to comply, and I believe that's where we're looking to go for.
Right.
So, again,
I think during COVID, though, we kind of
it was
overextended.
kind of,
Yeah,
right.
which is
the governor
understandable.
said, okay, I
Yeah.
don't mean to interrupt, I'm sorry.
That's
But the
all right.
governor kind of said, okay, you could do it, but now that's passed, right? So now
Yeah.
it's coming into how are you going to change it? I mean, you do have the option also to,
Yeah.
totally get rid of outdoor dining if you wanted to.
I
but-
think it's kind of nice if you don't create another problem on top of it, you know?
Yes, I agree.
So, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hello, everyone. Linda Boniface, 33 Parkway. To the attorney, I sat on the Township Committee from 2018 to 2023. Welcome, congratulations,
Thank you.
Teresa. Welcome, Tommy and Matt. I've asked this question many times and never got an answer last year. So, Mayor, could you tell me the amount of the budget for 2024?
2024 budget, to my best of my recollection, was 15.3 million.
Thank you.
Am I correct?
I don't even know what it is. I forgot.
I believe
But
it
it's
is.
15. It was over 14.
15.3, I believe.
It was an increase in 2 years of
It was.
$1.9 million. That's all I know. This is to the attorney. Northwest Financial, that deal needs to be investigated. First of all, the study was done without resolution to hire. The project never went before a planning board, but yet this was done. This discussion never took place in public. If it was in closed session, it should have never been in closed session. And the worst of all is the taxpayers paid the bill for this. There was no escrow set up. It was a financial statement on a future development. But what are you doing on what they tell you? Nothing came before the planning board, no drawings, no nothing. And I think you really need to investigate it. In my opinion, the Howard Ave project was a total disaster. The whole street, grants were received to do the whole street paving. And that didn't happen. Somebody, you just can't. Recreation was a failure, total failure last year. No summer concert, no So in the opinion, my opinion about rec, you could put 20 volunteers on there. They need all the help they can get.
Thank you.
And my final thing for the night, I believe the last police officer you hired was hired as an extra officer. An officer was already hired for a pending retirement. So when this new, and don't make me Oprah, I know it. Don't make me Oprah the officers from the last 5 years and then Oprah now.
30 seconds.
Okay. Just remember, I'll be here every week, every meeting to see if you investigate that.
Thank you. So I just want to address one thing, Ms. Boniface, if I may. The Howard Avenue payment is on here, and I believe it's on for the construction crew that finished their work.
Correct.
Could you tell me if in that work was the paving included?
No, you may recall, Mayor, and the members of this committee, that it was discussed during the Boswell report that the milling and paving was never spec'd out curb to curb. When Dave Brown and I discovered that, we went to Boswell and said, that can't be. You can't dig up all these pipes and put new pipes in and leave only sections just patched. Boswell's recommendation was then we will rebid that milling and paving for this spring in conjunction with knowing that we laid how many square feet of all of the new storm drains to give the asphalt an opportunity to settle. So that'll be rebid this spring when, as well as asphalt prices typically come down. It's cheaper to, you can't get asphalt in this time of year anyway. So that was what was discussed, I want to say 3 meetings ago or 3 months ago.
I do remember the discussion, but I'm trying to.
So this was for La Forza Construction's work.
That was with the aprons?
Correct. Sidewalks, aprons,
sidewalks,
ADA ramps, the installation of
ramps, right.
the,
But it was not including the milling and paving.
Correct. And according to Boswell's construction inspector, all of the work required under that contract has been met. And that's why this is the final payment.
Thank you.
And also, just to add, there is a new engineer on the consent agenda tonight that will be voted on.
Thank you. May I have a motion to close to public? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you? I didn't see you. Sorry.
Nice try.
You caught me.
About the planning board and the combination of the boards. To save money, you might be surprised. It's not that easy to do by combining the boards. Take my word for it. About 15 years ago, I was on the planning board. After a couple of years, we became a combined board. And then 2 years later, or give or take, the town by referendum voted to separate them again. Please. It's not a bad idea if it's done right. But if you're thinking of the price of everything and the value of nothing, then you're going about it the wrong way. There was a way to combine the boards that may have made more sense. And if anybody would like just to discuss it with me, you know how to get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Dave Brown, Superintendent. Regarding the Howard Ave and that being the final payment, I don't know if I can ask you to hold that, maybe table it for another meeting, because there's something that we definitely need to discuss that I know is not completed by that company. I was told was supposed to be completed during the winter months. That payment should not be made.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Okay, we could actually table that if everybody's in consent of tabling that.
Let's wait
I'd have
till
to take
you
it. I have to take it. I know, guys. I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I'm just looking for you.
Okay, so that would be.
It's one of the last ones.
Yeah.
057.
That's 57. And you'll have the discussion, Mr. Brown, with Administrator? Okay. You want me to take it off right now?
No.
No.
Wait till
Okay,
you close to the public.
Hold on. Anybody else from the public? No? All right, may I have a motion to close the public?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Committeewoman Otola,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky,
Yes.
and Mayor Judge Carvello.
Yes. Approval of the minutes for Sunday meeting, minutes for 010425. I believe Mr. Chewinski has to abstain from this.
No,
He wasn't part of it, or no?
No, actually, a lot of elected officials think just what you just said, but you're not voting on the content. You're voting to accept it as the official minutes of the municipality. And the example I always give is if you had 3 new committee members, you could never approve the minutes from the last
Ever.
meeting because
Right.
only 2 were present. But you can abstain if you don't feel comfortable voting on it, but you are permitted to vote affirmatively if you choose to.
Thank you for that clarification. Appreciate that. So may I have a motion? Did we get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Committeewoman Otola,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky,
Yes.
and Mayor Judge Carvello.
Yes. Okay, let's move on to the ordinance introductions. Emma, would you please read the first one?
Okay. It's the first reading, ordinance number 1214-25, by way of resolution number 025-023, an ordinance to amend Chapter 16 entitled First Aid and Emergency Squad of the Township Code of the Township of Rochelle Park, State of New Jersey. And it is to be published in full in the Bergen Record with notice of public hearing to be held on February 12, 2025.
Yes.
May I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Otola,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky,
Yes.
and Mayor Judge Carvello.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Okay. Would you read, please, the ordinance number 1215-25?
Okay, ordinance number 1215 2025 by way of resolution number 025-024, an ordinance to amend Chapter 21 entitled Length of Service Awards Program of the Township Code of the Township of Rochelle Park, State of New Jersey, and it be published in full in the Bergen Record with notice of public hearing to be held on February 12, 2025.
Great. May I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Crivello.
Yes. Mrs. Wells, would you please do introduction ordinance number 1216-25?
Okay, ordinance number 1216-25 by way of resolution number 025-025, an ordinance to establishing a joint planning board, zoning board of adjustment and amending an ordinance entitled Land Use and Development Regulations of the Code of the Township of Rochelle Park. And it be published in the Bergen Record with notice of public hearing to be held on February 12, 2025.
May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Crivello.
Yes. All right, we want to also
Now
now,
we do the other one, right?
yes, may you introduce the ordinance 1217-25?
26.
20, I have here, ordinance number. This one.
Yeah, this one was 25.
We did that one.
Right, so this one would be 26.
Okay, so we're going to do 26.
No, we do the year, it's
It's the
1217,
year.
that's what changes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
25 is,
Okay.
okay, I'm
I
sorry.
just need that to read.
You sure?
Yep,
Thank you.
okay. And ordinance number 1217-25, an ordinance to amend Part 1, Chapter 36 of the Township Code of the Township of Rochelle Park, State of New Jersey. And it be published in full in the Bergen Record with notice of public hearing to be held on February 12, 2025.
All right, may I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Crivello.
Yes. All right, let's move on now. We're going to have to change up
Yes.
a little bit of these resolutions here, so we're going to have to add this resolution also.
Yep.
And this would be 60. Okay.
So we
So-
have to take a look.
Let's put resolution number 60 on here also.
Mhm.
025060, and that would be the resolution for approval to change the recreation.
No, because we already did that.
That's what this is.
No, we already did that. It's 59 you got to put. It's for the...
We have 59 for that. No, that's for Richard.
Right, that's the one that you have to, this one doesn't go on. That's with the
We're going to change
ordinance.
it. Okay.
We're good with that.
So we're staying at 59?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to have to amend,
Well,
sorry?
we have
I
the
know.
ones that fail.
So we are going to, all items listed below are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the Township Committee and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a committee member or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on agenda as part of the general orders. So we're going to remove, we already did the 025026. So we want to remove, and we'll start with 025, so that of course is the year. And we want to do 028, 029, 030, 031, 032, 037, 038, 040, and 041. Did I get them all? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So those would be pulled for discussion.
And then do we also want to pull the authorization of payment for Howard Ave? That's
Yeah,
057?
I got to get to the next page. Getting right there. So we're going to pull yours for discussion,
Yes.
correct? And then we're going to also pull 025057 for further. We're going to really actually pull it to table it. We're tabling that one, right? So we're taking that one off.
So you need a motion to table 57.
May I have a motion to table?
I'll make the
wait.
motion to table.
057?
Second.
Your second?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call?
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Crivello.
Yes. Okay, that will be tabled and for discussion also with the administrator, Mr. Brown. Thank you. Okay, so.
Motion to approve all the items on the consent agenda,
The
other
rest of
than
them.
those that have been pulled.
All right, so we have a motion to approve everything else on the agenda other than that was already pulled for discussion. May I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Committeewoman Otola,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky,
Yes.
and Mayor Judge Carvello.
Yes. All right, so we want to have discussion on the others. Ms. Sartola?
Yes.
Thank you.
So the appointments for the ones that I had asked for discussion, some of these things, I think, I don't see a problem with how the current appointments have been working on their respective councils. However, I think there are some that we really don't want to change because of the specific issues. They know Rochelle Park very well. They've worked with us. And I think changing things like flooding, like our the township planner, I think John Barry has been fabulous with us, and he's been working with us for decades. He knows Rochelle Park extremely well, worked even before I was on the township committee when I was on the planning board, and I know that this is in planning board issues, but the work that he has done and the knowledge that he has of our town, I think it would be a mistake to remove him. So this isn't anything against what has been proposed. However, I think there are too many that we're changing, and I think some of these changes to get someone else new up and running, I think could work against us. So I just want to pull those. If anyone wants to discuss that, that's fine. I just want to pull those to vote no on them because I'm in favor of keeping who we've had in the last year. And there were some that we've had in the last year that I didn't pull. But I'm okay with changing those. But these ones, I just really feel like we should keep those. So I didn't pull, what I'm trying to say is I didn't pull everyone new. That was, yeah, okay.
Anyone else for discussion on this?
I'll just share that I believe the residents called for change in an overwhelming fashion in the last election, and that change starts with our professionals. And that's largely because the residents of Rochelle Park have seen a lack of results. So that change starts tonight.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to also say, to further your conversation, Gail, on I don't believe there's a very wrong answer. I believe we have qualified professionals in front of us, and we have had qualified professionals before. But I also agree with Tommy. I think the town has been asking for a new look at some of the same age-old problems that have remained here for decades. And I think it would be in our best interest to move forward with some new professionals that can offer that. And that's why I would move forward and vote in favor of the changes as well. And I hear the same thing as Tommy does with the voters, and I've heard it many times talking with people out on the streets and the school all over town that they want to see changes. We need to move forward and try and move in a different direction. Hopefully that will benefit this town, and we'll put our best foot forward. And I think collectively we'll be very powerful in doing that.
Thank you. Thank you. I also want to thank everybody for their opinions and discussion on this. And my opinion at this point is we are moving forward. We're going forward. We're going to do what we need to do, what we believe, and the majority believes, I should say, what is best for the town. I think it's been enough, in my opinion, of sometimes you have to look at change as not a bad thing, but a good thing. I know I've looked into these. These are all professionals. They've been doing this for a while. Mr. Scatino, 30-something plus years as a municipal attorney, and in my opinion, he's a terrific attorney. So I believe, and again, in my opinion, we should always look for betterment for this town. This community deserves it, and I think that's where we should move forward. Again, thank you all for your opinions, and we can move forward with.
Can we vote
We have
on
to
them
vote
all
on each
together?
one.
We have to
No,
vote
you have
each
to vote on
one.
each one separately.
Okay?
Got it.
So,
025, 028.
okay, so we will move forward to vote on Resolution 025-028. May I have a roll call vote, please? Right.
A motion first.
A motion first?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
No.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes. Motion passed, right?
Yep.
Okay, so may I have a motion for 025-029?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
No.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes,
That one passed.
that motion is passed. May I have a motion, may I have a motion for 025-030?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
No.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes,
That one passed.
got it? That motion passed. May I have a motion to move forward with 025-031 resolution?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
No.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes, motion passed. May I have a motion to move forward with 025-032 resolution?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
No.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes. Okay, we're moving down to, may I have a motion for resolution 025-037 resolution? May I have a motion for that, please?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Committeewoman
Roll
Otola?
Sorry.
No.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes,
Okay, that one passed.
that motion passed, right? Okay. May I have a motion for resolution 025-038, resolution appointing?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Committeewoman Otola?
No.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes. All right.
Passed.
So we're going down to 40 now, right? Okay, so may I have a motion to move resolution number 025-040?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Committeewoman Otola?
No.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes. Motion passed. Okay, may I have a motion for resolution 025-041?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Committeewoman Otola?
No.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Truinsky?
Yes.
Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes,
All right, that one also passed.
and that motion passed. Thank you.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, what's left?
We
We
got it.
have,
We
uh,
table, did we do a
you have to
motion to
approve
table?
it.
Yep,
We did
I
the
got that, sorry.
059, right? We already.
Your
we're
mayor's
good.
appointments.
What? Sorry? 59 was added.
Yes.
As so amended, yes. All right, so the last thing I have here, I want to also take off where it says, you know, at the end here, closed session, please amend that agenda on the bottom. Thank you. And please put in, these are the appointments for 2025. For the planning board, that was appointed is reappointed, actually, and some are newly appointed. Class 2 is Ed Kakowski. I want to say correct, police. I have Class 4, Christine Muller. I have secretary, which is also, he stays Michael right there. I have member Charlie Greco. And I have, what is this? Class 4, alternate, number 2, Christina Holtz. And then I have on the zoning board, I have William Coleman, and alternate number 2, Andrew Mattson. Do I take a roll on that? Okay, great, thank you. And let's see,
One other thing on the planning board, the committee has to select a committee member that's going to serve, unless that was done at the reorg?
That, you appointed.
I believe I have right here Matt Chewinski.
That has to be voted on by the council, the committee, that's the only one that they vote on.
So if we can have a motion to put Mr. Matt Chewinski as Class 3 on the planning board,
I'll make the motion.
may I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Cherwinski?
Yes?
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes, sure. And then I just go on that.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, what's left? We have,
February 12th meeting
I
at
see it.
7 p.m.
thank you. We're doing training at 6.
6, yes.
Right, so we don't have that. All right. So the next meeting is work session on February 12th, 2025. We will have a training prior to that at 6, but the meeting will actually start here at 7 p.m. and so advertised. I did zoning.
Yep.
The committee has to vote on the zoning board.
All right, and we can have, I'm sorry, I didn't adjourn yet. I'm just
No.
giving that
Yeah.
announcement. So can I have a motion for these all members so listed for the zoning board, please?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll make a second.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Cherwinski?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes. All right, we're good? All right, great. So I'd like a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll
Aye.
call? Roll call?
Okay. Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Cherwinski?
Yes.
And Mayor Judge Covello?
Yes. Thank you all for coming this evening. Have a great evening.
Thank you.